Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I am Screen Scene Guru, and today I'm going to be coming at you with a full series review of Out There Crimes of the Paranormal. This is a new supernaturally charged series coming at us for the spooky season on Hulu, I believe. Um, and yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Starting with episode 1, we've got Web of Lizard People. Um, and this was a story about, in Nashville, a man that believed in the conspiracy theory of the lizard, reptilian, serpent people taking over governments and ultimately trying to control the world. I know this is a common conspiracy theory from the 80s that has sparked some recent traction and gotten a lot of people to really wreck their careers and damage their lives and hurt people. But going on from that topic to episode 2, we've got Lights Over Long Island, which I thought was a really good episode, probably one of the strongest of the series. Talking about over Long Island, alleged lights craft being seen, a high volume rate in the 70s and 80s, all the way to present day, which was very interesting to find out. I basically binged this series in a day, guys. All of the episodes dropped on September 24th, so they came out last month. I don't think a lot of people have watched the show, so I'm just kind of bringing awareness to anyone who's following the channel, anyone who's checking this stuff out. I also highly recommend the Christian Harloff UAP Tuesday for those of you that are watching, following on the topic, keeping up to date with all the news on the hearings. We were supposed to have a hearing on October. That unfortunately was canceled, and now our closest hearing is November 13th. So we're hoping that um, there's a colonel involved, a couple other high-profile service members that are going to speak forward, whistleblowers. We're very excited to hear what they have to say, similar to the hearing we had in 2023. So, moving on with my full series review, we have episode 3, The Poplick Goatman. Now, this is about in Louisville, Goatman's Bridge, some has referred to it. It is a train rail, I believe, for a transportation route. But unfortunately, teens over the years have started the rumor that, of course, the Goatman, or Devil, has taken up residency there on the track, and they have dared each other to go climb up this very active train rail, and unfortunately, many teens have died. Um, so they're just trying to spread the awareness of the dangers of doing stunts around the rails, stuff like that. Um, Moving on to episode 4, we've got Jersey Witch Hunt. Now, this was a story in the 80s about a 16-year-old that was believedly brought into a cult. Um, they never really confirmed what happened to this teen. They believe one of the cops investigating the case discussed witchcraft. He brought up the term, but nothing was ever concrete evidence. A lot of people believe there was some kind of cover-up. Um, Very shady stuff involved in this investigation. So definitely check that out if you guys are looking forward to that kind of content. Moving on to episode 5, we've got probably one of the more interesting episodes, along with episode 2, uh, Interstellar Voyager. Now, this is a story about a man from, let's see if we can get this right, a genius. He reverse engineered trains, cars, planes. He was a hobbyist. Said he was antisocial, a little bit on the not so many friends side, but he was very intelligent, one of the best engineers in his area, and he talked about aliens coming to get him in the 80s, and that it would be a 42-month journey back. Um, But of course, this was not to be so. The case was actually, he described to a friend of his that it would take interstellar time, the folding of space time, basically 1,000,000 years for him to come back, long after all of us are dead. So that was interesting to hear that, he was mentioning folding space time in the 80s. I think that was before they even discovered that was a thing. So very interesting stuff there. Episode 6, we've got shape-shifting defense. Now, this episode was basically about how attorney defense and others were trying to blame the murder of an indigenous woman on the skinwalker. And this was really offensive, guys, for you, those of you that have been following this topic. They basically used Native American lore of the skinwalker, which is forbidden kind of to talk about. It's believed that it curses you. But the white people, us, unfortunately, used the skinwalker against the Native Americans in trying to get off a white murderer who assaulted this woman and killed her outside of her work, outside of this hospital. And the guy admitted to doing it under police custody, and the police basically sympathized with this guy and said that they thought he was a victim. And they got him off on claiming that the skinwalker made him do it, which was very, very offensive. So those of you that have been following the story, definitely leave your thoughts, comments down below. But moving on into some of the last couple of episodes, let me just see right here. Let me scroll down. We've got episode 6. We already talked about the shape-shifting defense, which was the Native American story. Episode 7, Smoky Mountain Nightmare. Now, this was an interesting story about a 6-year-old going missing with his, he was in close proximity to his siblings that weren't much older than him and adults, and they lost him in the Smoky Mountains. And for those of you that don't know, the national parks are historically known for missing people. There are records, there are lists of people that have gone missing, years, decades worth of people. But this story was in the 80s. Reagan even made it public international news by him asking for daily updates on the child. They never found the kid. They never found the 6-year-old. And the fact that they brought in Green Beret military soldiers to sweep the grounds made a lot of people believe there was something more than just a missing person going on. There was an active operation in the park hunting some kind of creature, which is fascinating to hear because you hear a lot more of these podcasts, these stories about people coming forward. Oh yeah, I was paid by the government to hunt these creatures down because they were a threat. So interesting to hear a lot of these stories being collaborated, almost verified, interesting stuff. But without holding this channel up too much longer, we're going to go into the last episode, episode 8, which was Ghosts of Chinatown. Now, this was basically about the elders of not just Chinatown, but kind of internationally being conned and tricked out of handing over their valuables for a blessing ceremony, and to find out that their valuables were taken from them. They were robbed blind. This was an interesting episode to find out about Asian culture. They're very superstitious about, honoring loved ones and blessing ceremonies and things like that. So to find this out was troubling, but information that was good to hear, just to find out kind of what's going on with that topic. But overall, I really like the show, guys. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. If you haven't already, highly recommend Christian Harloff's UAP Tuesdays. So go check that out. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow the channel for future content. And I think that's it for now. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.